Hello and welcome to Elevated Intuition. I'm really excited about this reading. It is themed around a Christmas carol, and the whole point of the story is that he is visited by three ghosts. The ghosts of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future. So on my channel, we do tarot readings, and in each one of these piles, I have cards pulled representing your past, present, and future, with the ultimate goal of, moving forward. And the transformation that happens in the movie is that Ebenezer Scrooge just is filled with joy and lives a much better life where he cares and thinks about others. So that's kind of the intent of this reading. This is also an open collaboration done with other YouTube channels. It's hosted by Discovering the Art of Living. Thank you, Sue. She's the one doing this. And I will have the playlist for the other videos linked down in the description. So if you are interested, you can check those out. I'm sure they're going to be fantastic. I do pick a card readings. I have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. You get to choose which pile resonates with you. And in each one, we're going to talk about past, present, future. And basically, like, the ultimate goal is, moving you in a positive direction. But I also have some other things that may help you choose. Like, if you can't decide on a pile from here, I have my own version of the ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. So my ghost of Christmas past, which is kind of linked to pile 1, is Ralphie in his bunny costume from A Christmas Story. And this is just an ornament that I picked up. I didn't make anything here. However, in Christmas present, which is Santa wearing a mask and a dumpster fire. I did actually craft this, made his mask, and this dumpster is a 3D print. So if you are interested in making your own 2020 dumpster fire, I will list the print below. If you have a 3D printer, you can print that out. So I printed this out and painted it, put the 2020 on there, and it is intended to be a tea light holder. And my Christmas future, took a little liberties here as well. This is another ornament. I just thought it was futuristic. In the future, I hope to be dressed like this, so I hope you do too. This is a fun reading, I hope you can tell. And that ornament is actually from the Wonder Woman movie that is coming out. So that hasn't been out yet, so, that's future. So if you have a pile in mind, I have the timestamps linked down below. Please decide which pile you're going to meet me at, and click on there, and I will see you at your pile. Hello, group ones. Let's take a look at our Christmas past, our Christmas present, and our Christmas future, and see what that has for us for this reading. So I do just have 3 tarot cards, one for past, present, and future, and then I have some oracle cards that I pulled for us for further advice. So representing your ghost of Christmas past is the Artist in reverse. Your ghost of Christmas present is 4 of Pentacles. And ghost of Christmas future is the Ace of Swords. Okay, so right off the bat, the Artist is just a really beautiful card, but it's in reverse. So I really think that in the past, you are a very artistic person, but I don't think that you were really secure in that in the past, that you were afraid of judgment from others, that you just were not ready to let other people see your creativity. And I feel like that was an issue for you because it's such a personal thing that it means a lot to you, that you put a lot of, like it's your heart. So if somebody criticizes something that you do that's artistic, it really gets to you. It really is upsetting to you. And there's some insecurity in that for you. The ghost of Christmas present is telling us that right now, in an effort to find some security, you might be overdoing it a little bit. 4 is a number of security. I mean, you think of 4 like a chair has 4 legs because it's very stable and secure. But you're trying to exert a measure of control of your life, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should definitely have control in what you're doing and have control in your life. But I'm not really seeing that really allows you the freedom to express yourself creatively the way that you wish. Because there are some restrictions here with this 4 of Pentacles. It's like holding back, like you are in so much control that you are holding back a lot. However, the ghost of Christmas future is the Ace of Swords. And this is something new coming in. This is a new energy. Swords is air energy. It is, just a breath of fresh air, freedom, some new mental clarity, and a new direction for you to go, something that's going to free you up a little bit. And maybe that is, you just overcorrected for this insecurity from the past, and you're realizing that, okay, I do feel secure now, and I do feel like I'm in control now, but you're not expressing yourself creatively. And this swords, this idea, this new breakthrough, this new path that you're going to see, this mental clarity that's coming in, is going to give you some freedom to do that. And that, I think, is going to happen in the form of being a little bit more secure with yourself and not caring so much about what others think of your creative endeavors, and you being happy that you like it and not overreacting to if somebody is critical of what you're doing, not taking that so personally. And our oracle cards that we have, this is the Path, Waxing Crescent. So I'll show you this card because it's really pretty. This just goes to reinforce the the Christmas future here, that there is a path illuminating for you, to kind of move you out of like this, I don't know, like you feeling secure, like I said, secure, but restricted. And it moves you into a new way of thinking, and it's illuminating the way. And if we accept where we are and acknowledge what needs to change to grow, to begin, we begin to love ourselves more completely, and we have a new direction for change. And this loving yourself more completely is really key, because when we're insecure and we're worried about what others think of what we're doing, you're very restricting yourself. But when you love yourself, it almost like other people's opinions don't really matter. It's your opinion that matters. And the next card that I have here is Egg Moon Trust. So the Egg Moon happens in April, definitely in the spring. And that might be a really good time for you, where you are starting, you put this idea into action, and you're really setting down your path towards something that's a little bit more creative, and you don't feel so restricted about it. That that it's not a loss of control. It's almost like a more control over yourself if you think about it, because you trust yourself more. And you should trust yourself. I love that this is the Egg Moon too. It's almost, she's in this egg here, and an egg is a protective shell, but it's like enclosed with yourself. Like you are protecting yourself, because you know your worth. You know what you have to offer. And it's just growing and more growth for you and joy coming in. And I really see that, like I said, with I love these lunar cards, and this is why I use them, because they do have timing on them, like the egg moon, and that I think really relates to what we're talking about. And one you know, I feel like these two cards, the past and the present, still have like a level of fear that goes along with them. But when you're approaching the world with this new idea, this new swords energy, it's almost like you're fearless. And a quote that is coming to mind for me is, "You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." So you have this idea, and this path illuminates, and you just trust in yourself that you're going to make it, that you're going to go there, and you're not so concerned about what others think. So that's the message I have for you, Group 1. I hope you have a fantastic day. If these are the kinds of videos that you're interested in, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Hello, if you picked pile 2, you are in the right place. So let's take a look at the cards that got pulled for Christmas past, present, and future, and go from there. I'm going to take these oracle cards and set them off to the side. We'll pull them out later. So the ghost of Christmas past, what is telling you, the King of Wands. So it's representing you, the King of Wands here in the past. Ghost of Christmas present, we have the King of Cups. Looks like you are a rock star here. And the ghost of Christmas future is the Well, but it is in reverse. So yeah, you're pretty confident, and you have a lot of things in your life and evidence to support that. Probably people call you an old soul. You're very accomplished. Like, even if you haven't really done things, you're a very deep thinker. In the past, the King of Wands is a natural born leader, visionary, entrepreneur, very charismatic. You know, this is a great place. And if you think very highly of yourself, which I think you do, like I said, there's some great evidence here to support that. The only caution, or there's some caution here with the King of Wands, that you might have some ruthlessness in there. Wands is fire energy, and fire can be very ruthless, especially if you are the one who is the master of that, which is kind of what this card is saying. You also probably have some high expectations of yourself. And with 2 kings here, I can see that. So that is great when you're goal setting, but when things don't work out the way that you think they should, that can be kind of difficult to overcome sometimes. So we'll revisit that when we go to the future. So the ghost of Christmas present, King of Cups. Very mature, emotionally balanced, a diplomatic person. When you're dealing with other people, you can be very compassionate. I feel like if you're not in charge of people, that you would make an excellent person to work for. Sometimes, though, I don't know, in my work experience, it almost seems like the people who would be very good to work for don't necessarily end up there. Although Wands is kind of an ambitious energy, so I have a feeling that you do, and maybe that is why presently you are the King of Cups, because you do have compassion for people, and you can understand that. Flip side of this, though, a negative trait that could occur is you could be emotionally manipulative. And if you find yourself doing that, playing on people's emotions to manipulate them to your way of thinking, that's really not that's really not a good trait. And these are the emotionally manipulative, the ruthlessness, and high expectations are things that if you do resonate for you, that they're things that really don't serve you moving forward. And the reason I say that is because your ghost of Christmas future is the well in reverse. So the well is related to Gaia, Mother Earth, and it's like, this would be the absolute perfect reading if this was upright. So this is telling me that there is some issues here. A couple things could be that because you are such, and you have been for a while, like such an elevated level, that maybe you aren't listening to people who are underneath you. So what this is telling me, sorry, my phone was ringing, that possibly you're not listening to people who you view as beneath you. And one idea that I think you should carry forward is that every person you meet knows something that you don't know. Like, it is okay to have like a really high self-esteem, but if you are using it to feel like you're above others, that's when you're going to have a problem. And this card for future, the well itself is very feminine energy, and it talks about nurturing, and this nurturing can be, it's not just for yourself, it's like for everyone. Like, you have this great capacity to be fantastic for everyone that you meet. But if you feel like you're above them, then it could be destructive. And I don't want you to end up cold and stagnant like this card is talking about. I want you to flip this around and feel like you connected with other people. And sometimes kings, they are at the top, but they're also very lonely. There's also a lot of masculine energy here with these kings. And if you're a female watching this doesn't exclude you. You may feel like you've been in this world where you felt like you've had to embrace like this masculine energy to get ahead. And the well is talking about tapping into your own femininity and really being yourself. So here are our oracle cards. Resistance, waning. This is waning crescent, resistance. And this is sovereignty, queen of the moon. And yeah, this really tells me, this is really interesting how much like royalty you have going on here. But there's an imbalance because you've got two kings here. I feel like you need to embrace your feminine side a little bit and let in some nurturing, look around and caring for others. I didn't really expect to, once I got into the readings, to talk about A Christmas Carol very much, but this is very kind of reminiscent of it, that, at this point, the ghost of Christmas present for Ebenezer Scrooge, that he is very self-centered, that he is just, more, very materialistic. And I'm not seeing that necessarily at this point that you are materialistic, but it could get to that point unless you bring in some more nurturing energy and take a look around and really connect with your community is what the sovereignty is, because we don't want you to end up in this situation in the future where you just are stagnant. And I think that you've been at this really high level, you've been functioning at this really high level, that the stagnant energy could be because you stop looking around for new ideas. Let's go over here to resistance for a little bit. It's really interesting to me that this fist is holding earth. Almost like you need to get grounded a little bit, like ground yourself, come back down to earth. Maybe don't hold it so hard here. It's grasping pretty hard, but move forward with confidence and persistence. And I'm wondering if you just feel like you've reached a certain level and you don't need to persist anymore, but there's always new things to learn and always new people to learn from. And like, I just am getting this idea that you're like the king, that you're up so high that you feel like maybe people can't teach you anything anymore. But let's go back to A Christmas Carol. One of the biggest lessons that Ebenezer Scrooge learned was from Tiny Tim, who was, the poor little kiddo who was just really happy with everything that he had, even though there were so many things that were wrong with his, physically wrong with his life. He just had like this really fantastic attitude. So Tiny Tim really had this fantastic attitude. And for this, we got to flip this well around and really just make, because you can get on that path. Just don't take a wrong turn where you pull yourself out of the connection with other people, is what I'm seeing. So calm over chaos, flow over frustration, peace over protection, faith over fear, heart over hustle, and alignment above everything else. And I'm talking about, this aligning with your higher self, with the best you that you can be. And you are a very high achiever, but sometimes that can be difficult. And maybe the achievement, turning that inside, the internal achievement, and looking at ourselves is sometimes kind of difficult. And I see like everybody else sees you as like this really high achiever and you've done so much. But these three cards, connecting with the earth, grounding yourself, and maybe turning inward a little bit to find that nurturing spirit within you. And we're going to turn that well around and connect with Gaia and just have like a fabulous Christmas future. So thank you, Group 2. I hope that you have a fantastic Christmas. And if these are the kinds of videos that you like, please like and subscribe to my channel. Hello, Group 3. Let's dive into your reading. So I have the 3 past, present, and future cards here, and some oracle cards that I will set aside for later. Let's take a look at these. So the past, the Ghost of Christmas Past, is showing you the 4 of Cups. Ghost of Christmas Present, showing you Justice in reverse. And the Ghost of Christmas Future is showing you the Sun. So right off, I'm just going to tell you that the future looks fantastic. This is one of the best cards in tarot. It's the Sun, and for obvious reasons. It shines bright, it brings so much life, it's just joy and pure happiness. But I wanted to start off with that because I feel like recently in the past and currently, you don't feel like that. There's some imbalance here. That 4 of Cups reversed is about withdrawal. It's about being an introvert, really uninspired, feeling restricted and held back. It's kind of like the meh. Like if you could add a meme to everything, it's meh. I feel like you had a hard time finding anything that you were really interested in, anything that really lit your fire. You're just not connecting with other people, and maybe you don't really even know what's wrong. The Justice in reverse the Justice and the Sun. They're both major arcana cards. They're major energies. And in reverse, it's, more of that kind of, it's not uninspired, but you're feeling like there's a lack of something. Both of these cards is lacking. There's a lack. And maybe you're seeing a lot of unfairness in the world, that you're not seeing accountability that you really wish you would see. You're looking for some sort of balance. You're just a lot of dishonesty. And this could be you too, that you're really not happy with yourself for something. Like you feel like you've acted in an immoral way. And sometimes I almost feel like you're an introvert, yes, but an empath. That's the word that I was looking for. You're empathic. I feel like a lot of empaths are Justice in reverse right now, because not necessarily that there's something wrong with them. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with you, but I feel like you feel like there's something wrong with you, okay? There isn't. It's just that you're taking on other people's dishonesty, that somebody else has done something and you're feeling it. This negativity, like you're feeling all this negativity. And we really need to get you out of that, and you're going to get out of that. But also, Justice in reverse can talk about your shadow self and your fears. So this is talking about facing those fears and really digging in there and getting in there and figuring out your fears, because once you face that, it's almost not necessarily that you reach rock bottom. Maybe emotionally you might feel like that, but then there's nothing to do but go up from there, is what I'm saying. So, and this is darkness, long night moon, and protection are the cards, the oracle cards that I pulled. So I'm going to start here because this really reminds me of this Four of Cups in reversed, because darkness, long night moon does talk about going inside, and justice as well, like introspection, like, so going inside. And I love how this is so relevant to this time frame too, because darkness, I mean, we're, at least in the Western Hemisphere, we are going into winter. The winter solstice is December 21st. That is the darkest night of the year. And if we're talking about the long night moon, like the longest night or the darkest night, which would be the new moon in December, that is December 7th. So that time frame, that 2 weeks there, December 7th through December 21st, I feel like it's going to be really important for you to do some introspection. And this is just some self-reflection and thinking about things that no longer serve you and letting those go and prioritizing new things. And something from the past that maybe you've been beating yourself up over, forgive yourself, let it go. If it is some like relationship that you need to talk to somebody about, I would almost bet that they have forgiven you too, and you have just been holding on to that, and it's time to let it go. But this 2-week period is a really great time to think about those things and then just release it. It's no longer serving you. You've been carrying this baggage. That's why things are imbalanced, because there's things that you need to forgive yourself for. And some of them, like I said, is not even your stuff to forgive yourself for. If you're empathic and you're picking up this negative energy that's been going around, it's not even your baggage. So let it go. Let it go. Release it. Because then you're going to feel so much lighter. And this is a protection card, but there's a couple things I want to mention about this. Like I said, you were carrying this baggage that you just got to let go. And once you do that, like, you can feel so much lighter and feel like you can fly and just really bask in this sun energy that exists in you and for you. And this protection is really important because your spirit guides, God, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever greater force than you that you believe in, they want you to know that you are protected on this journey, that whatever you are fearful of, whatever fears that you have, to let it go. And I'm getting this question, like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Because that is this fears of failure and whatever you're carrying with you, you're just going to let go, and you're going to feel so much lighter. And in the future, like I said, you are going to be the sun. This really reminds me of this quote, and it's just fantastic. I had to look it up. It's from Marianne Williamson in her book, A Return to Love. And our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we liberate from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And I really feel like that quote is perfect for you. You have this darkness here, and you're not afraid of this darkness, because in the past, this Four of Cups kind of talks about being in that dark place. It's just that now you are ready to use this darkness to go over here to the light. You have this contrast here. You have this darkness and you have the sun. You have this darkness that you're going to just let go of all of your baggage. And for the future, you are going to fly and really embrace the sun energy, because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to the other people around you, and you owe it to the world. You are just a beautiful, beautiful person. So that's my message for you, group 3. I hope this resonates, especially the last part about you really finding yourself and embracing the light. If these are the kinds of videos that you are interested in, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.